Mr. Happy Living here, and I'm happy to be broadcasting from WYTV7 in the beautiful Queen City, Charlotte, North Carolina, USA. Hey friends, come and join me for just a moment. Imagine how awesome you'd feel living the unique and distinct life that you were put on this planet to live, doing work you love with people you love in places you love, and all the while creating something of real value to others. Well, that's what I call a life of significance, and I can tell you it makes a very happy life. And so can my friend Karen Conover. Karen first joined us over 10 years ago when we first interviewed her in print, and today she returns in purpose, not to revisit who she was, but to reveal who she has become. Because it's been said, no one ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and they're not the same person. And today we're taking another step into our river series. Before we bring Karen on, I'd like to share a poem that we created to thank her for being our guest star today. We call it Tie Your Belt. And it goes like this. No one starts with a black belt. You tie a white one first. Hands a little unsure, mind already wondering if you belong. Karen knows that feeling. She's seen it in the eyes of kids, parents, people who almost didn't start because they thought they had to be ready. But readiness isn't the requirement. Showing up is. One class, one mistake, one correction, again, until something shifts. Not out there, in here. Confidence doesn't arrive, it's repeated into existence. Somewhere between the doubt and the discipline, you change. Not into someone else, but into your own best. Stop waiting to feel stronger, braver, and ready. Start. This is Tie Your Belt, and Karen's here to remind you, you don't earn a black belt, you become one. Hey, Karen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. That was beautiful. I feel like you just summed up everything about me.
That's terrific. Well, get us started by telling us what you're doing these days to make your mark of significance on the world.
Sure. Well, I am the owner of a martial arts school in Northern Arizona. It's called Casey's Family Taekwondo, and we just celebrated our 20th anniversary in business with a giant event celebrating the graduation of 50 black belts. We were
Wow.
joined by masters, grandmasters from all around the country, just to celebrate the achievement of our students, of our school. Um, and so I'm really just continually getting better, I think. It's kind of like the purpose of a black belt is to always be your best self and learn and
Yeah,
grow.
yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. And so 50 black belts, did you do the same routine where they also had to give a speech up there?
Well, that would have been a long show in the
Yeah,
performance. So, yeah, they did. They had to come out of their comfort zone and they had to create their own special performance and a speech about their experience that they did at the more private test that we could take a long time. At the show, we highlighted some of the top ones, top speakers, top performers. It was beautiful.
so give our audience just a little glimmer into a story that really touched your heart at the ceremony.
Well, one of our black belts was an adult who had four times gotten to brown belt before in her life, and never taken that extra step. And she ended up being one of the speakers, and she was very, very powerful, talking about how our school made the difference. She even used the words, "Our school saved her life,"
Hmm.
because what she described, which is what we hear from a lot of people, is that she walked into a space that was immediately friendly, positive, and inclusive. And it was a place that she just wanted to be. You know, a lot of people talk about it like it's their happy place, you know.
Hmm.
When you can create an environment where people just feel completely supported in that way, then magic can happen.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And tell our audience, share with our audience about when you first realized that your studio wasn't just teaching people to become Taekwondo experts and black belts, but to extend that mindset into their lives and into their homes, and most importantly, maybe into their community.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, martial arts when taught well is really about way more than kicks and punches, right? It's about the character, how it shapes you. It's about the mindset. It's kind of a Kaizen kind of a thing, right? So where
Mm.
we're learning something and we're always growing. And in our school, we set out to be super inclusive. We've had adults with disabilities, kids with ADHD challenges and stuff like that. And what we really do is we use the methods of martial arts, but as a way for them to find their own superpowers and to grow in their own way. Everybody starts at a different level. We have some top athletes, and actually in this black belt test had a young woman, adult, who uses a walker.
Oh,
And
wow.
so yeah, and so we got her up to the top of the mountain that we make them run. And so
Wow.
yeah, we really, really try to find people where they're at and take them to their best level, and that
Yeah.
change really defines a black belt.
Yeah, that's great. And before we move on, tell us a little bit about the bullying program that you've started and what that means to the community and to the people who you're helping through that program.
Yeah, for sure. So we teach, martial arts, self-defense, all of that, but with that comes the character. And so we are often teaching our students about respecting one another, protecting one another, and empowering one another. And that's created a culture where bullying just like I can't say that it doesn't exist because kids make mistakes, but
Mm.
but also it's where it's not tolerated. As a matter of fact, I just was talking with a parent yesterday who said that her child was at a different martial arts school where the adult in charge allowed others in the class to bully him. And then
Mm.
when he came to our school, she literally said it is not tolerated. But it's like in such a positive growth learning way. Like I said, kids make mistakes and we are here to guide them. So the
Hmm.
kid who was once a bully can be taught not to be that way, right? And
Yeah,
we promote a culture where just bullying just doesn't work, you
yeah,
know?
very good. All right, before we move along, tell us a little bit about your beautiful family, Karen.
Oh, cool. I'd happy to share. So I have two biological kids, and I also helped foster two kids who have
Mm.
kids of their own. So in a sense, I'm a grandmother. We don't get to see them often, but I do hear of them, so that's kind of fun. My kids are adults out there in the world. They earned black belts, world championships. Um, one's a teacher, one's in the construction. Uh, uh, oh my gosh. He likes to design buildings, architecture space.
Architect. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they're just doing wonderful things as young adults, and they tell me often that martial arts has really shaped their lives and their
Mm.
confidence for
Mm.
sure.
Very good. Thank you, Karen. Okay, let's do a little mathematics so our friends all around the world can get to know you through our happy formula. It's very simple, but it's super powerful, and it goes like this: power plus purpose equals happy. So, what are your personal practices for building up all the power you need to get things done, whether it's physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, even emotionally? In other words, Karen, what do you do on a regular basis to create the power you need to take really good care of yourself and your loved ones and still have plenty of juice left over so you can be a giver to others?
Oh, wow. I'm not great at math, but I'll tell you. So, yeah, I mean, I try to have daily habits. So, and I'm not perfect, nobody is, right? But definitely in the morning, I take time, not a whole lot of time, just 15 minutes. I love my dining room table. It's quiet there. I sit at my dining room table, I drink a big glass of water, I take my vitamins and all that stuff, and then I just kind of set intention, and
Mm.
mostly all of my intention uh, is around gratitude
Mm.
because challenges happen every day and I'm grateful for them because I have found out that when I go through a hard challenge, I get better after that. So I
Yeah.
mean, nobody loves when you're in the thick of it. So anyway, so my morning routine is a lot of that. And as I get older, I'm 55 now. I definitely, just do gentle stretches and whatnot. And I think that just really helps me kind of set up for my day because my days are long and challenging, but incredible as well.
Yeah, very good. All right, you mentioned this before, but let's discuss my favorite power generating concept. It's called a Kaizen state of mind. And it's this beautiful Japanese idea that small incremental improvements will add up over time to yield great big results. And it's so powerful because it's about mindset, not about circumstances. Kaizening life is knowing I can always do something better tomorrow than today. And it creates a gentle, relentless, never-ending power that keeps lifting me higher and higher day after day after day. So, Karen, how does Kaizening your life help you increase your power to continuously become more so you can continue giving more and impacting even more lives?
Oh, 100%. I mean, Kaizen is really kind of the black belt way, right? So that's why it is in martial arts. And I've been practicing martial arts for 30 years now. And so what I have found is that the longer you practice gratitude, choosing your attitude, choosing your positive attitude, the more you just speak it into existence. And so we and that helps me to improve because it really helps me to, I used to get upset when somebody quit or somebody was upset in the business or something like that. And I've come to realize that that's not necessarily about me, right? And
Yeah,
so through this practice, I'm realizing that, and I have a lot more patience in my life and a lot more reality in my life, and I just move forward with things I can control, and that is how I choose my attitude, and I've grown a
yeah.
lot in that way.
Yeah, that's great. I've added a little bit to Kaizen. I wonder what your thoughts are about this. It's Kaizen, which is small incremental improvements, and hold. Once you've learned a technique or a life lesson, or you've accomplished something, don't give it back. So you have to start over again. So what do you think about Kaizen and hold?
I think that's really important because, like, as you say that, I can think of myself like backsliding a little bit,
Hmm.
like something big happens and I backslide. And the great thing about the community and the people that you surround yourself with is the ones who really love you and know you, they'll give you a little check. Hey, that's
Hmm.
not this. Let's not go there.
Hmm.
And I've got some really wonderful people, including my husband and the people that I work with, my business coaches, and they help me to just stop that right there. It's
Yeah,
kind of like where you really just have these beliefs about yourself, and you have to really overcome the beliefs that aren't true.
yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah.
good. Okay, let's move on to purpose. That's the second part of our formula. And I've observed that big, major life transformations, big discoveries of purpose often come through devastation, addiction, abuse, disease, death, disaster, something horrible strips a life to its core, resulting in a big and often unexpected change. However, in my book, Turning Inspiration into Action, I share the transformational process that I've used to discover the purpose of my life through inspiration. So, how about you, Karen? Was there a specific moment or event or crisis or inspiration that revealed to you the unique and distinct purpose you were meant to live?
Um, that's a loaded question in a lot of ways. I honestly, I'm realizing now, gosh, I'm going to get all sentimental. As I grow older, that my purpose for living was to parent my two children first.
Mm,
Um, and we, as a family, we've gone through a lot of hardship and tragedy. And the cool thing is side by side with that was our martial arts practice. And
mm,
so it helped us get through those. And then it helped us to heal that stuff. And then it helped us to just keep going because that's what we do as martial artists. We keep going. We keep striving for better. We can stand in both in reality with the hard things that
hmm.
helped us and also improve our lives.
Hmm. Yeah, it
So yeah.
reminds me of a quote. We're going to do quotes at the end, but this is from Shinru Suzuki, I think it is. You're perfect just as you are, and you could use a little improvement.
Yes. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to get to that place.
Yeah,
I'm only now, I mean, I'm 55 and I've been doing a lot of work on myself. I'm only now realizing that I am enough. And I think
yeah.
that's a big challenge for most people,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
that's great. Well, take us back to the beginning when you were first drawn into martial arts, and what was the catalyst that created a shift in you from training yourself to teaching others?
Um, I don't think it was training myself and then teaching others because I've been a teacher my whole life.
Mm,
So whenever I am learning from someone, like I started martial arts just as a way to not go to the gym to get
mm,
into shape. I was like, somebody will tell me what to do. And then I just loved it. But then when I'm a student, I always thought through the lens of how could I help others with this?
mhm,
Even as a kid, camp counselor and all that. I was a music teacher before this. So, yeah, so I just feel like that the teaching piece was always there for me. And
mm,
then, after I was in martial arts for up to my second degree, I said, you know what, this is the time where this is what I want to do forever. I think that this is where I can have the most impact.
mm. And
Yeah.
the impact was on the
On
most impact.
Yeah, on students, on our community. I felt like martial arts was a very strong vehicle to reach a lot of people in a powerful way.
Mm,
And I really didn't have clarity on the word significance until I met you, actually. And it really just resonates. This is I'm living with significance, and it's addictive in a sense, but it's just such a wonderful feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. All right, Karen, thank you for that. Now let's take a quick commercial break so our sponsor can spread a little love with our audience.
Are you ready to transform your life? At happyliving.com, we've discovered 4 keys to help you live with purpose, joy, and significance. Unlock your truth with the Happy Quiz. Unlock your happy formula with inspiring stories from the Something Significant Show. Unlock your roadmap to happiness with our free ebook, Making Your Mark of Significance. And unlock your inspired life with our life-changing e-course, The Philosophy of You and Your Inspired Life. This is your time to shine. Go to happyliving.com now and click Unlock the Power of You. Unlock your power. Live your best life. happyliving.com.
Kits for Kids are materials handed out by first responders to children during emergencies. The goal of distributing these kits is to mitigate the emotional trauma children experience during distressing events. These kits also help foster positive interactions between first responders and children, building trust and reducing anxiety. These kits feature toys and activities for children to engage with, providing distractions and stimulation. Models of first responder vehicles help children familiarize themselves with emergency personnel. Additionally, the kits include noise-canceling headphones and raincoats to help comfort children during distressing events. You can directly support Kits for Kids in several ways, including donating directly or sponsoring fundraising, volunteering your company for team building, or referring a law enforcement or first responder department to receive kits. Thank you for your support. Please visit www.wytv7.org for more information.
And we're back, and this is the Something Significant Show, and I'm your host, Matt Gersper. And my special guest star today is Karen Conover, a master instructor, educator, and founder of Casey's Family Taekwondo, who's dedicated her life to helping others grow through discipline, perseverance, and self-belief. Through her own journey of learning, teaching, and overcoming internal obstacles, Karen discovered that a black belt isn't something you earn, it's something you become. Now she helps students and families grow stronger from the inside out. Karen, I just love how you help people become their very best. And I think you're going to love this article that I found called The Science Behind the Power of Giving. It revealed something really powerful, that the simple act of giving itself can become a gateway to discovering your reason for being on the planet. Science confirms when we give our time, talents, and treasure, it doesn't just help others, but it transforms us too. Giving helps us rise above obstacles. It helps us find meaning, and it's even how we discover our purpose. So I updated our formula. It's going to, even though you're not good on math, it's going to get a little more complicated. Power plus purpose plus giving equals really happy. So how about you, Karen? Has giving your time, talents, and treasure been a powerful pathway for discovering your purpose and for getting yourself through hardships and for bringing real meaning into your life?
100%. And I can get down with that math for sure. Um, Yeah, I just feel like in this last even the last couple of years, I've always been a giver, but I feel like in the early part of my life, I was giving because I was a people pleaser. And
Mm,
like I felt like I had to do it, right? And
mm,
now I am just giving because I just want to. I want to help other people. I don't have to. And
mhm.
having that shift of really helping other people, it comes back to you so much more positively. Like it just absolutely defines and makes you understand that what you're doing is real and purposeful. Yeah.
Yeah, even if you're giving, as you said, for being a people pleaser, and first half of my life, I would give, but expecting something back for my business or whatever. It was transactional, and even people pleasing, that was transactional. You were getting something for your giving, and
Yep.
when you switch it, just try to express the the freedom and the relaxation and the joy that comes when you do that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's just an amazing feeling, and that's why I have gratitude for so much that I do, and then a lot of the times you don't even know that you're speaking power into someone,
Right.
like I mean, I just ran into a mom a couple of days ago actually, whose kid only took Taekwondo with us for like 3 months, and he was
Hmm.
a teenager, and she said your program was so amazing. Now he's out of his shell. And it's like you just don't know those moments or those little
Right.
bits in time that are going to have a lasting impact on people.
Yeah.
So there's just a lot of gratitude with giving. Just makes you
Yeah.
feel great.
100%. And the science says giving brings meaning to our lives, which we expressed there. And the joy we feel when we're creating value for others confirms it. But there's something more to it than that, Karen, something deeper. I believe the magic of life comes when we're giving from living in our purpose, because that's where the joy doesn't just touch the receiver, it flows to the giver too. And it even flows to those who witness the giving. And something else happens there. Fear seems to loosen its grip. Self-focus shrinks, peace grows steadier, and hope grows stronger. And it all comes from aligning with purpose and becoming more so we can give more. So, Karen, I'd love our audience to witness what that magic looks like in your life. So please sit back, my friend, open your heart and have a listen to what people are saying about the impact that you're making in their lives because you're giving from living in your purpose. One person told me, Karen puts her heart and soul into Casey's family taekwondo. Another said, best family activity you could ever ask for. Spending time together, getting fit together, earning belts together, and making friends and memories that last a lifetime. Another said, their anti-bullying work is tremendous and they're making a difference in our children's schools and in our community. Others said, it's a blessing to have such a wonderful place for children and adults to train. We love how they bring the community together. Caring, encouraging, engaging, epic, exceptional, and fun. A great atmosphere, inclusive, inspiring, impressive, fantastic, knowledgeable, passionate, positive, and kind, top notch, top tier, upbeat. They meet their students where they are. My daughter has ADHD, and they know how to get her to do her best every day. Looking for a place to learn, meet friends, gain confidence, and become a better you, this is the place for you. We love it. They helped mold my daughter into the wonderful young lady she is. I loved her book so much that it inspired me to join Taekwondo. I'm a yellow belt on my way to getting my black belt. The lessons learned here will last a lifetime. Our entire family has been changed for the better by spending time with Karen and the Casey's family. It's a respect for each other that makes this studio such a magical place. And finally, this person said, it's more than just martial arts studio, it's a family. So Karen, how does all that incredible love make you feel?
Wow. Yeah, amazing, amazing. And also like it takes a whole team, it takes a whole village to make it all happen and stuff. But yeah, it just makes me proud that I can set up experiences for people that do this, and just a great feeling. And even more confirmation of that was at our big event last week, where literally masters and grandmasters who'd never seen my program, they knew me from conferences and we're in a coaching group and everything. Um, and they were blown away by how heartfelt and positive our space is and the community is. So it just is life reaffirming to hear those kinds of words.
Yeah, you've created a culture, and the culture itself works. And
100%.
yeah, yeah. Okay, folks, that's what this show is all about, creating that kind of culture in your life. We're here, Karen, me, and all our guest stars, to encourage you, our listeners, to find that same magic in your own life, because it's available to you, it's available to everyone, and it comes from this great big happy circle. Giving your time, talents, and treasure is a powerful pathway to discovering your purpose. And then giving from your purpose brings deep joy to you and to those around you too. So it seems, Karen, that giving leads to purpose and giving from purpose leads to joy. So to capture the entire exponential power of our happy formula, I've got to tweak it just a little bit more. Power times purpose times giving equals happy to the third power. And that's really, truly, deeply happy. Does that sound about right to you?
100%. I should know. My daughter's a math teacher.
Very good.
Yeah, like 100%. It's great.
All right, let's go from math to English and wrap things up the lightning round. I love the power of words and how the right quote can challenge us, not just to think differently, but to show up differently. As I prepared for our talk, a few surfaced, not just because they're meaningful, but because they reflect your journey of starting, staying with it, and becoming your very best. I'll read each one, and then I'll ask you, Karen, to share the first thoughts that come to your mind. No rehearsing, just the truth. Here we go. From Lao Tzu, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yeah, taking a first step. It's coming out of your comfort zone. That's where the learning's going to happen. You just got to do it.
Yeah. From Confucius, it doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop.
Yes, we say a black belt is a white belt who never quit, and you just have to keep moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. From Robert Greene, he said, mastery is not a function of genius or talent. It's a function of time and intense focus applied to a particular field of knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like you're going to pursue this and you're just going to get better every step at a time.
Yeah, and that particularly means in terms of martial arts, anybody can become a black belt if they want to, can't they?
For sure. Yep. And because in good martial arts schools, they will help people to find their own superpowers that they can lean into and grow.
Yeah. This one's from my past. I don't know who the author is, but it says, once you get where you want to be, you're not there anymore.
For sure. It's like the mountain climbing thing. You think you get to the top and then you see the next peak.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was on, I did a triathlon once, and I wasn't, well, anyways, as I was doing my bike ride on the triathlon, I noticed this great big hill, but I convinced myself that we didn't have to run up that hill. And of course, when I got to the running part, we got to that hill and it just crushed my spirit. I couldn't hardly stand it. So there's always another peak, isn't there?
There is. And just to say something real quick about that is you have to make sure that when you are at the peak that you stop and look around and appreciate where you are before you just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, very good. From John Wooden, he said, sports don't build character, they reveal it.
Oh, 100%. Martial arts does too, because you're gonna fail. There will be times where you fail, where you can't do this. This is super hard, and it's your character that's going to help, pull you out of that and keep you going. Yeah. Or that it's your character that's going to have you quit.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay. As always, our show anchor from Goff, he said, whatever you can do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now.
Love it. I am always a super positive person. I really do believe you can do anything you put your mind to. I'm not saying that means you can snap your fingers and become a millionaire or something like that, but positivity really can push you through to anything.
You know, there's another quote. It says you can have almost anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. You
Yeah,
kind of touched on that a little bit. You know, you can do it, but you got to choose and push through.
that's right.
Very good. Thank you, Karen. Those quotes and your responses give voice to the power of taking that first step, the discipline to keep going, and the transformation that happens when we commit to becoming our very best. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and the way you help build strength and confidence and characters with us today. And now, my friends, if Karen's story has inspired you, if it lifted your spirit or encouraged you to become the very best version of yourself, then I invite you to share that energy with our incredible team at WITV7 who make this show possible. They're a 501c3 charity on a mission to educate, empower, and encourage people in need. Every gift matters, big and small. With your support and their tireless work, lives are being transformed and our circle of love keeps expanding. So donate today because it'll do good and it'll make you feel good too. Karen, I love how you take something that feels so challenging, growth, discipline, becoming more, and make it accessible step by step for both children and adults and families together for that matter. And I admire the way that you live what you teach, showing up consistently, building others up, and creating a community where people truly become their best. And I'm super happy that you've come back on our show and shared your strong, disciplined, and encouraging spirit with us today. Take a moment and share any parting remarks you'd like to leave with our audience.
I just want to say that I founded my school, since we were doing quotes, on the Henry Ford quote, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that has driven every decision in my life for the last 20 years and just my attitude. And, it's a happy life.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Karen. And just one more thing. If it was 10 or 11 years ago, we did the first interview on print. If you could sit across from the woman you were back then, what would you say to her?
Um, get coaching, get advisors, be around people who lift you up and who can and share more with you. You're not alone. There are people out there who want to help.
Very good. All right, now, my friends, it's because of stories like Karen's and listeners just like you that we've been named one of the top 100 life purpose podcasts worldwide, ranked at 17. So thank you. I appreciate your support for our mission and for sharing these stories of inspiration and purpose. I also want to thank WITV7 for hosting and promoting our show so we can keep interviewing inspiring guest stars like Karen and reaching folks just like you ready to create your own extraordinary lives. And most especially, thank you, viewers and listeners. If you'd like to learn more about Karen Conover, connect with her community, and explore what it means to build your own black belt in life, you'll find all the links in our show notes. So find her, connect with her, read her book, and take the next step to becoming your very best. From me to you, dear friends, I love you, and I want you to be really, truly, deeply happy too. So don't miss this. Go to happyliving.com right now on your phone and start at the top, because we've created a place where people begin to believe, where real stories, powerful tools, and a deeper source of purpose all come together to unlock their power. And that's what we want for you. Till next time, I'm Matt Gersper. You are awesome, and this is the Something Significant Show. And we're out.